Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Sens, iMoney's podcast. I'm your host Azrin, and today we have Chooi Yau, an AVP for CapBay, and we're going to dive into one of CapBay's more exciting projects called CrediBill, which is a specialized platform under CapBay, which concentrates on credit and billing management for buyers and suppliers. Chooi Yau, welcome.
Thanks, Azrin. Thanks for having me here. Just an introduction about myself. My name is Chooi Yau, but you can just call me CY. Everyone calls me that. As what Azrin mentioned earlier, I'm the AVP in CapBay, but really I'm just a guy who helped to start new project. And I think one of the most exciting project right now is called CrediBill, and I'm very excited to dive into that. And if you are a business that's spending or struggling with just cash flow, I think you're in the right place.
Awesome, can't wait to learn more about it. So let's get started with it straight away. The name CrediBill, it's an interesting name. It kind of sounds like credible. What's the inspiration behind that? Where did you come up with the name?
CrediBill, yeah, I think that's a good question. I think how we come up with the name, it's just a pretty direct mashed up, right? I think if you were to zoom in a little bit better, it means credit and billing, and it's a credible platform, right? I think that's really a brand name that reflects onto what we want to do and what we are providing to the market.
So it's a simple, straightforward way to reflect your mission, basically. Yeah. I love it. It's basically a portmanteau of credible, credit and billing.
I think we're just trying to be funny.
I mean, it works, right? It rolls off the tongue, like you said. Yeah. To go into it, like simply put, what does CrediBill do exactly?
All right, so like what I said earlier, as the name suggested, it's a credit and billing management platform. So it's a platform that's designed to provide credits to buyers and to help the suppliers with the billing process. I think just to give a bit better context onto, I think we are helping both parties, supplier and the buyer, right? For the buyer's end, when you purchase goods, this is where CrediBill provide credit term and credit limit. And for the supplier end, once you have done what you need to do, which is to deliver your services or deliver your goods, this is where CrediBill will provide instant payout to you to help with your billing process. Yeah.
So that's like some of the services that you provide as CrediBill then.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you also help in like simplifying the process, like for managing relationship with vendors and buyers as well?
On top of just helping with the credit term and credit limit, as well as providing the instant payout, as a whole, in the platform itself, we are also helping both parties to simplify the whole billing process. I think just to make it more streamlined, just to make the whole process more efficient, so businesses can just focus on the most important part, which is making sales.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wait, let's just pull back a bit because we're going into the weeds a bit here. Let's just come back to why did CrediBill come to be? Like, what need did you see in the market that requires CrediBill to be there?
Just to clarify, CrediBill is the sister company of CapBay, and CapBay is a P2P financing company in Malaysia, and we have been in the market for around 8 years now. So one of the most common issue that we see over the 8 years, it's the most common issue, cash flow issue.
Yeah, cash flow is always a problem for a lot of businesses here in Malaysia, right?
Yes, and more specifically, what we observe in terms of the cash flow issue is between the two parties that I mentioned earlier, which is the supplier and the buyer. And why so is because of buyers usually. Me as a buyer, when I purchase goods, I would usually want a longer payment term, whereas for a supplier, they will also need the cash to roll, to buy raw materials, to produce the goods.
The cash flow in order to have their business going, right?
Correct. So there is this mismatch of the payment terms desired by both parties. So this is where CrediBills come in and help with really just to ease up the cash flow between both parties.
I see. So that's the market that you're targeting here, that connection between supplier and buyer there, right? But it goes into the weed a lot, but if you were to like simplify, like if you were to describe CrediBill to someone who's unfamiliar with the market, what's the simplest way that would you approach it?
The most layman term that I could think of, and I guess everyone here should know, buy now, pay later.
Oh.
So the buyers, you can buy now, you can get the goods immediately, and then for the supplier, you can get paid instantly as well. So the buy now, it's where you can buy now,
Mm-hmm.
but the payment can come later with the extended payment term offered by CrediBill.
So that's where you guys operate there to provide that gap there. That's actually quite an apt description of it. Right, like
I
just
think that's the simplest
yeah,
way
that's
to
probably
describe
the
it. Yeah.
easiest way to understand as
Yeah.
a buy now pay later for all these businesses as well. Instead of just for B2C, right? It's just consumer. This is a business
Business
B2B
to business, yeah.
platform. Moving on to that, just to look at your partnership with CapBay, right? So just as CapBay leverages technology for their business financing, how does CrediBill leverage technology to deliver these services to your clients?
For CrediBill, I think technology is still in the center of the whole business itself. What we are trying to do, like I think Azrin, you mentioned earlier, on top of just giving terms, on top of just giving instant payout to the supplier, we are also trying to streamline the whole process. And I think the most effective way to do it is through technology, right? And I think what we are doing with technology under CrediBill here is that there will be real-time data analytics. There will also be credit assessment on the platform itself, and also you will be able to see what's the payment like, when is it due, what are the invoices that are due. Everything will be stated in the platform, so there won't be any manual documents that is needed. And I think that probably would jive well with the policy that's been implemented recently, which is the e-invoicing. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Which is it's something that a lot of businesses need to be aware of since it's
yes, I think, and the deadline for all businesses would be next August.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we would be also doing that part of things for the businesses. So we want to be able to achieve that one-stop service where you come to our platform on top of the terms and limit that we offer to you, as well as the instant payout to the supplier. This is also one of the features that we will be including.
So those are additional features that you guys will put on as CrediBill as well, right? Just to pick your brain on this, how has been the adoption and reception towards digitalization for all these businesses? Like, I do believe, it's my personal opinion, that businesses tend to be slow on the pickup for digitalization. I could be wrong. Maybe you see it differently with more businesses now saying like, oh, we love this digital platform. It's easier for us. Like, what's the comparison there?
I guess for the digitalization part of things, and I think your question is how is the adoption like, right? I guess I wouldn't put a blanket answer to this. I think it really depends on which industry we are talking about. Let's just, if I were to pick an example onto, let's just say healthcare industry, right? Doctors, hospitals, they are so used to the manual processing. And I think if we were to really impose this on them to use the digitalization, I think but I think in practice it will take a much longer time for them to adopt that process itself.
So it's a harder...
it requires more education, I would say. Same goes to the construction industry as well, because they are so used to, I'm just going to pick up a call, hey, I need this particular item, can you just put an order in for me? So, this kind of thing, you just need to tell them, if you were to transition it to the digital platform, things will get much better, and then you probably would be able to cut a lot of costs in between as well. So I think we need a bit more time.
I mean, there requires a bit of more education on the side from you guys as well towards your business in the industry as well. To just jump back on CrediBill and your presence in the market, right? Is there a particular gap in the market that pushed the development of CrediBill? Like, why did it come up in the first place? I'm assuming there's a problem that you guys are trying to solve here, aside from the bridging the gap there. Because yes, there's the gap as well, but is there anything else on top of that?
Yes, I think the main thing here that we are really trying to solve together with our clients here, it's about the payment gap, right? But on top of that, I think like what I mentioned earlier as well, for the bigger suppliers, like we call it anchor supplier, anchor buyer, just saying that I'm a fruit supplier, right? I have 1,000 buyers, so I would need to deal with 1,000 of them individually. But with CrediBill itself, you just need to come through us. We will help you to manage all these buyers. So we also position ourselves as a buyer and vendor management for all these anchor supplier and buyer.
Well, surprisingly, it's a very all-in-one solution.
We're trying to do that because we don't want, ideally, we want to be able to solve the problems for the clients that come to us, instead of just telling them, hey, we have this product A, product B, but for product C, you can probably go to this provider, right? I think that's not very intuitive.
When you provide these solutions to the businesses, right, does it feel overwhelming for them to have all these answers provided to them when they don't even know what kind of questions you're trying to answer? Because it can be overwhelming when you provide a full suite of services when you don't even know what you're trying to do as a business.
Yes and no. I think for the more advanced businesses, or like, the younger generation, they are generally more adaptable to all these changes. But I think, like what we talked about earlier, for those industries that tend to be that tends to need a little bit more time, those, when you present all these solutions to them, they will probably just pick and choose which one that is more relevant to them, which is fine. I think for us, we are quite flexible in that sense. I think what we are trying to do here is, hey, these are all the solutions that we have, right? And then which one do you think is more applicable to your business at this point of time? Then you can just adopt that part of things.
It's kind of like an a la carte approach towards solutions for them, for these businesses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume younger generation are more aware of like how and what they need as a business. And I can see from how you're telling me that CrediBill can offer all those solutions however they need it, right?
Yes.
Just to go back here about addressing those gaps, right? So you guys established yourself and you're here to fill that gap, but like, how did you guys go from being a concept? I'm assuming you started as a concept first before becoming a full product as CrediBill. Because I would assume that the journey there wouldn't be so easy.
Yeah. So I think to answer your question, I think the concept really just randomly come one day, right?
So it's just a discussion. You thought like, this could be a good solution for people, and you just decided.
That's how great idea come about, right?
I mean, it's true. Sometimes you just like talking, and it's like, oh wait, this is a good solution. How come no one's done it before or done it in this way, right?
Yeah.
But like, that's the idea process, the execution part there.
Okay. I think jokes aside, just to answer your question, it's that how do we actually come from concept to the product that we have today? It's, I think we adopt the idea of the lean startup where we we really incubate. I think we started off with the concept that, hey, we really just think this is the issue that we observe in the market, the cash flow issue that we mentioned earlier, and this is really something that we want to help both parties to be able to solve that, so then they can go one step further to expand their business, right? And I think from that concept, how we do it, it's with that concept we come up with an MVP, which is the minimal viable product, where we get the real market feedback from our clients, and from there we will revise our product, and there will be a cycle where we will keep tweaking the product to what the market needs before we go to the mass market to tell people, hey, this is a solution that we have that could potentially solve your problem.
So there was a lot of product testing, market testing during that process. Now, if you're okay with it, were there any certain challenges that you guys faced during that period of time, or was it like, oh, everything fell into place, everything is smooth, or?
I wish.
Okay.
But no, I think it wasn't an easy journey, to be very honest. And I think if I were to put it, I think even until today there will still be challenges, right? I think I think that would probably be to all other businesses as well. But I think as a start, how do you actually get the trust from people to know that, hey, this is a credible product, right? And that's a reliable product that I should be adopting. How should I trust you? How can you actually solve my problem?
Establishing that foundation and establishing your brand as well, it takes time. I'm assuming that it's not easy.
It's not easy at all,
But see, the thing is, like, it's CrediBill is a new brand, but you guys are part of CapBay. So looking from that, right? So what's the vision behind CrediBill, and how does it fit with CapBay? Because you guys are kind of
sister
company, right? So again, what is the vision behind CrediBill? How does it fit with CapBay's mission statement and vision, and how they're doing with their solution and their services?
I guess the big dream here is really, whenever people have any cash flow issue, if I have a new business and if I need money, I will think of CapBay. That's the big dream, right? That's the dream that we all aspire to achieve. And CapBay's vision is to building the financing infrastructure for the future. And I think CrediBill is the extension of that. And what we are,
okay.
our vision is to provide innovative financing solutions to our customers, and not just the current products that we have in CapBay, but we want the case where anyone come to us, hey, this is the solution for you whenever you have cash flow issues. So we want to be able to achieve that and be able to have people to have us in mind whenever they have they want to grow their business.
So that's how you guys are complementing in a synergistic level, right?
Yes.
Because CapBay itself is very P2P, very bigger businesses, right? And you guys are trying to focus on that one part of cash flow to help any businesses that really want that
I guess
solution.
I think both companies are focusing on the cash flow, but for CapBay itself, we are focusing more on the peer-to-peer financing solutions. I mean, they have products like invoice financing, secured lending, but on us is really what we are doing. It's really more specific, very in-depth, and it's more onto the buy and sell between the buyers and the supplier. So it's more niche and a platform to also help people to streamline their processes and not just the financing part. So it's really helping you to solve your business problem.
Interesting if we go through there. This raised me some questions about in terms of your target audience and the people that you guys cater to. So first things first, who can use CrediBill products actually?
Good question. Who can use CrediBill product? Well, technically, pretty much everyone that's involved in the buy and sell transaction, right? It's really, if you decide to start a business one day, right, and you need to buy supplies from a supplier, CrediBill.
So I can just like call you and say, hey, see what, I want to start a business, I need help in this?
Yeah.
That's it?
Of course, I need to look at your financials, but yes.
We'll go to that part later. But so you're saying that this is, there's not much of a barrier to entry in terms of like asking for CrediBill's solutions then?
As long as it's businesses transacting, as long as you're trading, as long as there are buy and sell in between both parties, I think we are more than happy to
cater to those markets. But then, which market are we talking? Because like, I'm assuming there are specific industries that you guys are targeting most, or benefit, or these industries benefit more from CrediBill services.
Yes.
Is there a specific industry that you have in mind, or you guys been seeing from?
There are certain industry, and I would put it as focus industries that CrediBill is working on. So those industries are healthcare, construction, FMCG, and F&B. But of course, we won't be involved in industries like gambling.
Okay, so that's a touchy subject, but we won't go through.
Yes.
So it is a wide range of industries that can apply and use CrediBill services then. But then, if we look at that and narrow it down, is there specific segments or specific groups there that you're targeting that's underserved? Because I'm assuming not all industries are served equally. So is there a specific target that you guys think, oh, these guys, they're not getting enough in terms of like financial solution and cash flow assistance? So
I think maybe I would just rephrase it to which segment actually needs this service the most, right? And I think the ones who need the service would probably be the relatively smaller suppliers or relatively smaller buyers. And why so is because all these, for example, if I just started a business and I'm supplying to like hotels or I'm supplying to hospitals, right? And those industries, rather for example hospitals, they are so used to having terms. But suppliers, they would need money to buy raw materials to produce what they need to sell off, right? And they won't be able to offer the terms on their end. So where we come in is CrediBill can be your payment arm. We help you to extend the term. So this is where we come in to help these smaller suppliers. As for the smaller buyers, it's where they just started business. They won't be able to get a higher term or higher limit from the suppliers itself, because you will still need a certain credibility and a certain number of years of trading relationship in order for them to have trust. In business, trust is key.
Yes, exactly.
So this is where we want to also come in to help buyers, to help them to get the terms from these suppliers as well. And by saying that is where we come in to be the intermediary between you and the supplier, we give you the terms.
So you guys are targeting these underserved industries and segments as well, but like, what about relatively new companies or companies looking to grow? Is that a section that you guys are also helping there?
Yes. So for companies who are looking to grow, not so much about, you are new to the market, and you don't have the credit limit or credit term. So I think in this case, it's more towards, is it sufficient, right? So if I'm looking to grow, of course, naturally, I will need to purchase more goods. I will probably need a bit more time to pay because I would need to spend my money for my OPEX and CapEx, right? And for that, what we come in to help is we will give you a bit more term, right? And we will even increase your limit to make it higher so you can have a bit more cash to roll and to grow your business. So I think, yes, to answer your question, for business who are looking to expand their businesses and to grow their business, this is where we are also looking to help. And I think there is a need definitely in that.
I see. I mean, I want to go more into the solution that you guys provide, but I just want to have a quick question.
Yeah.
In terms of CrediBill, can individual use CrediBill, or is it just purely for businesses for now?
Yeah. So CrediBill right now is just for business.
Okay.
But if your grandma needs credit term for knitting supply, I mean, we'll keep that in mind in future.
I'll ask my grandma later after she wants to start a business. Okay.
Yes. Well, in case.
I mean, at least I know there's a solution for her then.
Yes.
But jumping back on the solution that you guys offer, if we can go into detail, how does CrediBill customize its offering to meet the needs of the audience that you guys are targeting? How do you guys customize your solution? Because I'm assuming every businesses have different needs and different wants and different approaches. So how do you guys solve that?
I think the question here is how do we customize our solution to cater to different industry, right? And I think, as I mentioned earlier, we are doing multiple industry from healthcare to F&B to FMCG all the way to construction. And I think as we all are aware, all these industries, they have all different processes. So what we do is we will try to understand what is the industry market practice. And then what we would do is that we understand the processes, we know where the gap lies in, right? And this is where we will be like, okay, this is where we think the both parties would need the fund in. So this is how we customize our solution. So I think just to give a very quick example, it's in the construction industry where developer only pays the contractor based on the project milestone. And we would need to understand how is that milestone being stated in the project itself, and we will pay according to that itself. And for the healthcare, we understand that hospitals, they will have their internal processes, and they would need internal clearance before they pay out to the vendors. So we will work around that cycle and customize towards that for the specific industry.
So a very tailored solution for each specific industry then. It's not just like, oh, we have this solution, we'll just pack it on that. You will look into the client and their needs and then provide specific solution to those, right, as well.
Yeah, because if you were to just put it as a one-stop, so it's not a one solution fits all industry, right? And we all know that if we were to just tailor that solution to that way, nobody's going to use you because they would come back with you with the comment of, no, this doesn't fit into my process, I'm not going to use you. So what are you going to do? We can't do that, right? And we want to be able to tap into each industry and really to understand what they're doing and really understand how we can solve their problem. We don't want to present the solution to them. You find your own solution again. How do you want to use that?
So you guys are really giving a tailored solution, tailored service so that they really have the answer that they're looking for provided by you guys.
Yes.
Then. It is similar to how does CapBay does in a sense. I mean, you guys are just a company, but we'll go more into that in terms of differentiating between you guys, CrediBill and CapBay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this. Okay, CY. Now we're gonna go into CrediBill and CapBay and really seeing how you guys are differentiating yourself from each other. So in terms of CrediBill, right? How does it differ from CapBay? Like, what do you guys do differently, or even what do you guys do similarly in a sense? Like, what's the difference there?
One common thing that we are doing is solving people's problem, businesses' problems specifically, and specifically in the anything that's related to financing. To answer your question on to the difference between CapBay and CrediBill, CapBay it's specialized in peer-to-peer and supply chain financing. So it's a big umbrella that offers multiple products that is under supply chain. So CrediBill is a specialized arm that specifically target onto still solving the cash flow problem, but it's on the buy and sell transactions between the buyer and the supplier itself. So I think just see CapBay as a big umbrella, and we are within the umbrella, and we are solving this particular part of the cash flow issues between supplier and the buyer in the buy and sell transactions.
So it's really still the same, but like a much more narrow, much more focused and targeted approach there.
It's the same vision. It's the same vision, but it's a two different solutions that we are providing to the client. One is a service that we help to still solving the operation problem to provide efficiency to businesses, which CapBay is not really focusing on that. CapBay is really focusing on providing the financing solutions to the clients and also bridging the issuers to the investors via our P2P platform.
I see. Okay, so with that in mind then, how do you guys complement each other then? It's like, again, you have these differences in terms of like your approach as a service, right? So how do you work together with CapBay? How do you guys complement each other in terms of like the services that you provided?
So I think in terms of complementing each other, I would put it in a way where CapBay lays the very solid foundation for us. And what we are doing is we build onto the foundation and we focus on the area between the buy and sell transaction for the clients, right? And I think with that, both parties, both companies, which is CapBay and CrediBill, will be able to provide very comprehensive solutions to solve different part of cash flow issues for the issuers.
I see. Now, looking back into that, I'm trying to think like, what specific outcomes have customer experience from CrediBill? Like, from the customers that use your services, what were the outcomes? What were the success stories, one would say?
Yeah, I think there was a client. In fact, our first client on CrediBill, I just met up with this client a while ago, and I think I still remember very vividly what he told me is that, CY, I'm really very thankful for CrediBill. It really helps me to go through the tough times when I first started my business, and to be able to grow my business to where we are today. CrediBill has been a very, very helpful partner to us. I think that's really something that we know we are going to the right direction by hearing what this client has told us, and we know that we are one step closer to our vision, to really helping businesses to solve their problem and to grow their business. That's
always a great thing to hear from like customers, right? When they say like, oh, your services really actually helped us and like grow and do better.
Yeah.
That is the leg up that you guys have as CrediBill.
Yeah.
But just to shift it a little bit, just to ask your personal opinion, how do you see the competition in your industry? Like, again, you shared that success story, but like, how do you guys differ from other people, from other competition in the industry? Like, what makes CrediBill unique?
Competition is everywhere for all businesses, right? I think even for even listed companies, they will also have competitions from other listed companies. So I think how I view all this competition, it's probably, I still respect what they're bringing to the market, and I see their value as well. But I think in terms of differentiating the values between the competitors and CrediBill itself is that we already have a very solid foundation, which CapBay has already laid down for us. And we have the resources, we have the expertise, we know the market well enough, right? And here is that, okay, let's do something better. Let's do something more in the market with what we have already known over the 8 years. I think that's really something that we are leveraging on, and I think something that we hope we are able to leverage to provide better solutions to our clients. Yeah.
I mean, just for me, I'm already convinced, and if I were to sign up, I know who to go to. But if, let's say, businesses who wants to, start with CrediBill and to sign up with you guys, what do they have to do? Is there a process? Is there a step or anything?
Yeah, of course. I think I'll get your number later.
Okay.
Since you mentioned you're interested, yeah. But anyway, yeah, jokes aside, just 4 simple steps. I think first it's, come talk to us, right? Our team is always ready to speak to you, and we will get application documents from you. Then it will move on to the credit assessment, and once that's done, we will be able to tell you, hey, what's the credit limit and credit term that we are offering to you, and once you are agreeable with that, you can start transacting with your supplier or your buyer.
Actually, that's quite simple. It's like 4 simple steps, I guess. So, well, I mean, for me, it's 1 because I can just call CY.
Yes.
But thank you so much for all that. We're gonna wrap up because I think I've taken too much of your time. But it's been amazing to learn about CrediBill and this solution that you guys provided. But just to wrap things up, what would you want to tell to our listeners about CrediBill or potential clients that who watches this show?
CrediBill is credible. But I think for any businesses that if you face any challenges in terms of your process, in terms of your billing, or in terms of just buy and sell transactions with your counterparty, I think we are all ready to help with your businesses. And I think for us, it's really how to solve your problem in your business.
One final question before we go. For those interested to learn more, how can they reach out? Where can they go? You have a website? Where can they go?
For those that are interested to reach out to us, do visit our website, credibill.co, and also visit our social media. And more conveniently, you can WhatsApp us at the number stated in the website and social media.
Awesome. Thank you so much, CY, for coming over
Thank
and
you.
sharing all your
Thanks,
knowledge
Anjali.
and the industry about CrediBill as well. And for you guys, if you enjoy this show, please comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thank you again for coming.
Thanks.